It's Christmas week and also the final night of Hanukkah. Remy Blair spoke to Crystal Foote to hear about holiday shopping season. Take
This holiday season, brand campaigns are getting real. Nostalgia is still king, but companies are moving away from polished, idealized holiday scenes. Instead, we're seeing chaotic, messy, and relatable moments, stories that reflect how holidays actually unfold. Now, familiar characters and faces still drive emotion, but the big shift this year is toward campaigns that feel human, imperfect, and connected to real consumer behavior. Well, joining me live here at the New York Stock Exchange is Crystal Foote, founder and head of partnerships at ad tech company Digital Culture Group. Crystal, great to have you here. Thank you so much for joining me.
Thank you, Remy, for having me. I appreciate it.
Well, we're here from the holiday weekend, and we saw a lot of record-breaking numbers when it comes to sales. So how do brands do authenticity right?
Well, they have to understand who their core consumer is, right? And speak to them in the same language that they want to be spoken to. Not something that's overarching for everybody, but really something that resonates with them. And so that is how they're going to get it right and drive revenue for the holiday season.
Yeah, and this weekend, I'm sure all of us were watching a lot of these ads, and some were really nostalgic, and others were new and fun and chaotic and messy, reflecting actual everyday events during the holiday season. But what is the data actually telling you when it comes to brand campaigns?
Yeah, the data is telling us that in order to move the needle with your core consumer, make sure that you take a page from their book. What can you do to help them be better in life? What is the convenience factor for them? Because at the end of the day, every dollar counts these days for these consumers. They're not trying to spend it on everything, right?
Yeah.
So how are you going to make their lives better based on where they are in the moment?
And here we are on Cyber Monday, but we have to keep in mind that we had Thanksgiving, we have Black Friday, Small Business Saturday, and here we are Cyber Monday, but we also have Giving Tuesday. So there's a lot happening when it comes to the consumer and spending. But why are small community-rooted businesses actually crucial when it comes to catching some of these cultural shifts out there?
Yeah, so small businesses, they impact over 50% of the employment of this country, right?
Yeah.
So we have to make sure that we're not only giving to big box retailers, but also small, communities as well as small businesses, because they really are the ones who are innovative. They are helping out our communities, like locally, right? And they're also helping out with just making sure that they are carrying this overall, idea of shifting the culture forward in the community, in this overall landscape of marketing and the different supplies they provide different communities as well. So making sure that we spend where the money should be locally, and then I would say secondarily, big box retailers. Am I okay to say that?
Yeah, of course, absolutely. Yeah, and when it comes to this conversation, it's all about cultural intelligence. So whether we're talking about small businesses or big box retailers, how does it translate to sales and engagement?
Yes, so in terms of small businesses, they are really focused on making sure that everything is crafted, handmade, or sourced locally for the most part, right? So you don't have to run into any type of any type of issues overseas with taxes and things like that we're now facing. So making sure that, go there and you'll see that, oh, you know what, I can shop locally, they support my local community, and people who are entrepreneurs as well, who are trying to make it for their families in this world of small business. Then when it comes to retailers, they're focused on more so, the everyday items.
Yeah.
They might run into tariff issues, right? So be prepared for that when you're looking at the difference between small businesses and big box retailers.
And finally, before I let you go, whether we're talking about small businesses, medium-sized businesses, or big publicly traded companies that are listed here at the New York Stock Exchange, we know that there are a lot of forces that are affecting the bottom line for them, whether we're talking about tariffs or the actual economy. So for viewers out there who want to support local brands, what is your advice to them?
I would say definitely look at the organizations that are in need. So let's take a step back and look at nonprofit organizations as well, right? Because they are in need during this time. I remember running a campaign for Toys for Tots, and for the first time, because we helped them out with advertising and other efforts they had for marketing, they were able to give 12 million children across the country gifts for the season. Record-breaking for them. So let's start with nonprofits, small business, and then big box retailers during this holiday season, because I feel like there is more opportunities now than ever to really give back.
Okay, Crystal, well, it was great having you here. Thank you so much for joining me, and happy holidays.
Thank you, Remy, you too.
Thank you.